Hi there, this is Giovanni Lombardi with Professorate.com. So welcome to my second lesson. Let's start with reviewing what we did in the first lesson. Those four chords, C major, A minor, D minor, G7. So I'm sure you guys have been practicing a lot, so you're ready to play with me. So let me put my metronome on and we're gonna just strum each chord 4 times down and proceed with our practice. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. One more time, back to C major, to A minor, to D minor, to G7. One more time, C major, A minor, D minor, G7, and 4 and stop. Okay, well, today we're gonna learn more chords and we're gonna face another huge challenge for every guitar player, the bar chord. So let me get ready and I'll be with you in a second. So I was telling you just a second ago about this big challenge every guitar player will face at a certain point of their musical life, and that is a bar chord. Today we're gonna learn F major. This is a bar chord. Why is it called a bar chord? Because your first finger, your index, is actually used across the entire set of strings as a bar. Here it is. Now, this will require a certain amount of technique and strength to your left hand. The way you want to place your first finger across the board is as such. It needs to be flat on the strings, though naturally your tendency will be this, to somehow bend your first finger, most likely at the middle knuckle, so you can hold a more comfortable position, though you need to fight that. You need to have your first finger straight, and as you can see, the tip of my first finger comes off the fretboard for about ½ an inch or something like that. And make sure with your thumb you're pushing the fretboard away from your chest. And as I said in the introduction of the first lesson, the other fingers needs to push the fretboard against your chest. Okay? So those two opposite forces. So this is the first finger placed across the entire set of strings. On the guitar box, it will look like this. You will see a series of dots telling you that the first finger is covering the entire set of strings. Starting from the bottom string, which is the 6th one, remember, not the first one, going to the top one, which is the first one. Okay? So, in order to play F major, you need to put your first finger flat across the first fret, and you can see the sign of the strings on the skin of my first finger. That's how hard it needs to be pressed. Anyway, first finger on the first fret across the entire set of strings, second finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, third finger on the 5th string, 3rd fret, pinky on the 4th string, 3rd fret. And here is your F major. One more time. Now, since you are a beginner, the chances are you will have some difficulties with this chord. There is an easy way out of it, or an easier way out of it. And as such, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pretend that my first finger stops just here across the 2nd and 1st string, okay? So it's actually playing a very small bar. But in order to do that, you're gonna have to tilt your first finger a little bit, so it can't be flat this way, but rather sideways across the second and first string. And then you place the rest of the string, of the fingers on the fretboard. Now, when you do that, if you're taking the easy way out to play F major, make sure not to strum the strings from the 6th string, because in that case, the 6th string will remain open. And if you do that, it will sound like this. There's something wrong here. It's the wrong note you're playing, okay? So, if you're reducing your bar to the smallest possible size of it, only to cover the 2nd and 1st string, then you want to make sure to strum from the 5th string down, such as this. Okay, so full size bar, you can strum the 6th string as well. Small size bar, only across, you strum only from the 5th string down, this way. So now we're gonna move on to the new chords for today's lesson. Okay, so right after F major, we're gonna learn today D major and A major. Now, let's talk about D major for a second. As you can see, I've placed 2 X's here next to the 6th and to the 5th string. That means that when you strum from the 4th string down, okay? So to play D major, we're gonna put the first finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. Second finger, 1st string, 2nd fret. Ring finger, 3rd string, 3rd fret. And we're gonna strum from the 4th string down. Here it is, D major. One more time, D major. Okay, let's move on to the next chord. Next chord is A major. I just placed an X next to the 6th string. So when you strum from the 5th string down, okay? And I want you to use your 2nd, 3rd, and 4th finger for this chord. I'm stressing this point because throughout the years, I've seen people playing all kinds of A major. To my opinion, this is the best way to play it. I'm gonna show you why in a second. So here it is, A major. 2nd finger, 4th string, 2nd fret. Ring finger, 3rd string, 2nd fret. Pinky, 2nd string, 2nd fret. And you strum from the 5th string down. Here it is. One more time, A major. So just a moment ago, I was telling you about other kinds of A major. I've seen people playing it this way. I've seen people playing it this way, with the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd finger. While the best shape is this one, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th finger. The reason is this, that with your 1st finger, you have the 1st finger free to move on to whatever next chord you're going to play, okay? So if you can, memorize the A major using those 3 fingers. One more time. Okay, I'm gonna write up more chords for you, so I'll be right with you in a second. Okay, so in addition to F major, D major, and A major, we're gonna learn now E major. There is no access on it, so you can go ahead and strum the whole set of strings, okay? So put your 1st finger on the 3rd string, 1st fret. 2nd finger on the 5th string, 2nd fret. The ring finger on the 4th string, 2nd fret. And strum the whole set of strings. Here it is, one more time, E major. Okay, now I'm gonna give you a chord progression, something like we just did in the first lesson. So we can play these 4 chords and we can make a little music out of it, okay? I'll be with you in a second. Okay, I wanna point something to your attention. The way I wrote this chord progression here is actually giving me a chance to talk to you about music notation, which is the Western way of reading and writing music. First of all, let's talk about those two funny looking signs here, okay? Those are called in music repeat sign. So whenever is on top has to be repeated. It could be repeated for 2 times, 3, 4, endless number of times, okay? Those diagonal lines here, they are called slash marks. It's actually referring to the number of the beats within a measure. What is a measure? A measure is the unit we use in music to measure the length of music. And that is actually, a measure is the space within the 2 vertical lines. So to end with, I want to talk to you about this number here, 4/4. That is the time signature, okay? Also called the common time signature. It basically means to play 4 beats per each measure. That's what we're going to do today. So the first chord of my chord progression is D major, the second one is A major, the third one is F major, and the last one is E major. And then, repeat sign, we're going to go back to D major, A major, F major, E major, and for the purpose of developing the right technique, we're going to just loop this for a while. So I'm going to put my metronome on, I'm going to play it for you 2 or 3 times, okay? So, okay you guys, so the metronome is on, be ready to practice. We're going to play this chord progression. Ready? Here we go. 3 and 4 and D major, 2 and 3 and 4, change to A major, right on the beat, don't stop, to F major, to E major. One more time, the repeat sign, back to the top, D major, A major, to F major, to E major. 1, 2, 3, 4, one more time, D major, A major, F major, E major, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and stop. Okay, I want to point something to your attention. Right here, when we change from A major to F major, you can see why you need to finger A major the way I showed you. See, A major, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now changing to F major, my first finger is going to play the bar, so it needs to be available to jump right on the first fret, on the beat. If you would have to play A major this way, your finger would be busy here. You would, use a fraction of a second extra, just enough to lose the beat, and we can't do that, okay? Another probably trick, if you wish, is this. When you play F major, 1, 2, 3, 4, you're about to change to E major. Instead of fingering E major with the first, second, and third finger, in this case only, you can do this. You're on F major, 1, 2, 3, 4, lift up your first finger and slide backwards the rest of your fingers, 1 fret. So now you're playing E major with a different fingering from the one I gave you, but it's okay. Sometimes we're gonna have to bend the rules. So I will play the progression for you one more time with this alternative fingering, okay? So you can practice with me. You ready? And 1, 2, 3, and 4, and D major. To A major. To F major. Alternative fingering. Slide back, E major. Very good. D major. To A major. To F major. Lift up your first finger and slide backwards. 2, 3, 4, and 1, and stop. Okay, you guys, I have 4 more chords for you for this lesson. So I'll be with you in a second. Okay, so 4 new chords for you guys. First chord is C7, the second chord is A7, the third is D7, and the fourth is B7. Well, as you can see, I place an X next to the 6th string for C7, so when you strum, remember, strum from the 5th string down. Same story with A7, strum from the 5th string down. For D7, there are 2 X's, okay? One next to the 6th string and one next to the 5th string. So strum from the 4th string down. And then we have B7. You can go ahead and strum the entire set of strings, okay? So the fingering for C7 is this. First finger on the 2nd string, 1st fret. The second finger on the 4th string, 2nd fret. The ring finger on the 5th string, 3rd fret. And the pinky on the 3rd string, 3rd fret. And here it is. Nice and bluesy. Again, C7. Okay, let's move up to the next chord, A7. The second finger goes on the 4th string, 2nd fret, ring finger on the 2nd string, 4th fret. And when you strum from the 5th string down. Here we go, A7. One more time, A7. Okay, let's move on to the third chord, that is D7. Remember to strum from the 4th string down. And the first finger goes on the 2nd string, 1st fret. Second finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. Third finger on the 1st string, 3rd fret. And here it is, D7. One more time, D7. Okay? Last chord for this progression is B7. So the second finger goes 5th string, 2nd fret. First finger, 4th string, 1st fret. Third finger, 3rd string, 2nd fret. Pinky, 1st string, 2nd fret. And here it is. One more time, B7. Okay, you guys. Now what we're gonna do, I'm gonna put those 2 chord progressions together in the same fashion that was before. So it will be written in music notation because it's always a good thing to be able to read music, at least have some basic knowledge about music notation. So I'll be with you in a second. Okay guys, so this is a summary of the 3 chord progression we did so far, including the very first one we covered in the first week. Okay, so I'm gonna be playing with you the 2 chord progression coming from this lesson, today's lesson. So progression number 2 is gonna be D major to A major to F major to E major. We're gonna loop that a couple of times, and then we're gonna play together progression number 3, C7 to A7 to D7 to B7. So be ready to practice with me. All right, here we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4. D major to A major to F major to E major, back to D major to A major to F major to E major. 3, 4, and 1, and stop. Okay, let's move to progression number 3, which has a nice bluesy sound. Okay, you guys? So here we go. 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, ready, go. C7, 1, 2, 3, 4 to A7, 2, 3, 4 to D7, 2, 3, 4 to B7, back to C7, repeat sign, 2, 3, 4 to A7, to D7, to B7, 3, 4, and 1, and stop. So I'm gonna stop the metronome for a second. So you guys, this is what I want you to do for me for next week. Your homework. Progression number 1, number 2, and number 3. Okay? So make sure to practice, but make sure to do this exercise. Changing chord from one chord shape to the next one without strumming. This is something easy that you can do sitting on your couch watching TV, but is extremely powerful. If you have the chord shapes memorized in your hand, you won't stop when it is time to change chord. Remember, even if the chord doesn't sound that great, it doesn't matter at this stage. The clarity of sound will come with time. What I'm really concerned is that you change chords on time. The beat is the master, okay? So thank you for being with me. And this is Giovanni Lombardi at professoric.com, and I'll see you for the next segment. Thank you.